Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. The unemployment rate in Scotland is increasing. Jobs are harder to find, there's fewer of them, they don't pay quite so well. Proof, should any be needed, not I think that much is needed, that the SNP is destroying the economy. Now I can almost hear it now, people saying, yes, but it's the same south of the border in England and Wales. And you would of course be right. However, the rate of change is greater in Scotland. Jobs are falling faster. The economy is performing worse in Scotland. Therefore, it cannot be a Westminster issue. It must be an SNP issue. It is whatever decisions they are making which is driving the Scots economy down. Things, for example, like over-regulation, more bureaucracy, higher tax. These things damage industry and business, and that is why the jobs are going. Whatever is affecting England and Wales on a national scale will also be affecting Scotland. It's not that the problem is, it's that differential. That differential is what happens when you put your X in the box for the SNP. You're voting for your own unemployment. Let's take a look. So, number of Scots not working skyrockets as the country is outperformed by the rest of the UK. The rest of the UK, of course, does not have the SNP in charge, raising taxes and increasing bureaucracy. Over 2.6 million Scots were working in the period January to March this year, but the figure was down 38,000 on the previous 3 months and 46,000 down the same period last year. That is a big fall. And, hang on. Oh, look. The TARDIS. Right in the middle there. Look. Boom, boom. Anyway. The number of Scots in work plunged by 38,000 for the first 3 months of 2024. New figures have shown. Data from the Office of National Statistics showed in the period from January to March 2024, a total of 2,613,000 Scots were in employment. While some of that could be attributed to seasonal jobs coming to an end after Christmas, the total is also 46,000 lower than it was in the same period in 2023. Those same rules of seasonal change also being admitted. You know, they're still there. According to the figures, Scotland's employment rate is now 73.1%, which is lower than the rate of the UK as a whole, which is 74.5%. And while the number of people in work has fallen, the figures also showed the number of Scots who are unemployed is also higher than it was a year ago. There were 120,000 people in Scotland who were out of work in January to March this year. Some of them making, of course, a living on it, not actually working. While this was 5,000 lower than the previous quarter, it was also 28,000 higher. I was going to say 28,000 times there. I caught myself. But 28,000 numbers higher than the first 3 months of 2023. The employment rate for Scotland is now at 4.4%. Sorry, the unemployment rate. Reading is hard. The unemployment rate for Scotland is now 4.4%, according to the latest figures, which is slightly above the UK rate of 4.3%. Now, in real terms, and we all remember the bad old days, 4.4% isn't actually that terrible. However, it is still worse than the rest of the UK average. And therefore, these things can only be attributable to the one cause. It is the SNP. And when you are, as a government, increasing taxes, you're making it harder for people to make a profit. And when you are increasing legislation or constantly pushing legislation to register this, to pay fees for that, to make access to city centres harder, etc., this situation is going to get worse. When you are reducing footfall deliberately in a city centre, then shops will get rid of workers or even possibly close down entirely. So it's not something that's going to improve, it's something that's going to deteriorate even further. And of course those bosses and business owners and that getting hit with exceptionally high tax will think, you know what, let's move the business south of the border and I can save an absolute fortune. And so they do. And those who are currently working for them who can't move, made unemployed, aren't they? Again, policies driven exclusively by the SNP. And that is what happens. And of course, you're losing businesses, you're losing investment, you're driving business away. No new investment wants to move in. And so there's this continual downfall. And then eventually there'll be an inflection point and it'll crash. And that is definitely what's going to happen in Scotland, unless someone reverses all these maniacal is the word I'm looking for there. These maniacal, mad, bonkers ideas that they seem to think will raise taxes. Shona Robertson, please show someone, show Shona Robertson a Laffer curve. Please explain to her what she's doing, why she's an idiot, why she needs to resign and go and do something more in keeping with her skills. Can't think of anything. I'm sure there's something. She can be the one that sits like that as your granny pulls the wool. Rather than them trying to pull the wool over our eyes, eh? Go, walk them into that. It goes to show, though, they walk in that booth, they look down at the ballot, they see SNP and they tick it, and they're ticking the box for their own unemployment. It literally really is this time turkeys voting for Christmas. Unbelievable, isn't it? Hey ho, we'll round off there, we'll come up and we'll finish the video. Whoever is elected in after the SNP at the next Holyrood election, it will probably, of course, be Labour. But whoever it is will have to do something about the economy. They have many levers to pull. They have many things to reverse. Number one, it must be, without fail, they must tackle the tax. They have to reverse it. They have to align income tax with the rest of England and Wales and Northern Ireland. They have to make it the same, because to do otherwise would be to drive businesses away and to ensure that new businesses do not invest in Scotland. Because why would you? Why would you go there and say, well, look, I've got to pay this amount of tax, or go south of the border and say, oh, look, here's a big saving in tax. Just makes common sense, doesn't it? I mean, you're not going to invest if you're if you're thinking about opening a business. But they also need to remove a lot of bureaucracy, make things easier, and of course, as I say, to repeal all those limiting low emission zones and things, because they stop footfall in town centres. The idea is to get people into businesses, not keep them away from businesses. The businesses go under, people are unemployed, and you get smaller tax takes as well, because nobody's employed. You're not claiming your tax, your income tax. Anyone with half a brain would see this. Unfortunately, of course, you're dealing with Shona Robertson. Yeah, half a brain, not even. Anyway, when these people go in and vote in the box, they're like turkeys voting for Christmas. And who can blame them? They haven't got the sense, have they? So we stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. I will speak to you later. Bye.